How dare you accept the imperial decree for recruiting talent? If I don't break your damn legs today, I might as well kill myself by ramming my head into a wall. Accepting the decree, you old fool. Young Master Meiyuan, please calm down. Do not be impulsive. You beast! I'll give you 3 more breaths of time. Don't make a fool of yourself up there. You old fossil, if you dare keep spouting filth, I'll punch your damn eyes out.
He's crazy. The eldest young master must have gone mad.
How dare he speak to the master like that? You beast! How dare you speak to your father like that? Old fossil still talking big? I might as well say I'm your father. What? Someone come here. Bring me my long pike and my great sword. Rather than letting this beast offend Her Majesty and implicate the family, I'd rather clean up the house myself. Then I will beg Her Majesty the Empress for forgiveness. Holy crap. Seriously? I'm in trouble. I've actually transmigrated. The Great Qin Dynasty. Biological father. Great Qian is facing internal and external crises. The Empress issued a decree seeking talent. I'm just a gambler and a drunkard, a total wastrel. And I somehow accepted the imperial bulletin. Accepting the decree just for fame is the crime of deceiving the emperor. The Feng, even a tiger doesn't eat its cubs. You want to kill Yanger? Then kill me first. Step aside. This beast has already gone mad. If he reaches the Golden Throne Hall, who knows what trouble he'll cause? Not only did he cause a huge mess, but he refuses to bow his head at all. How can I tolerate him? Greetings, father. Actually, the reason I accepted the imperial bulletin is because I want to make a name for myself and restore the century of glory to our family. It was not an impulsive act. When you were 17, you wrote a poem about reeds, 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 or 4 pieces, 4 pieces, 5 pieces, 6 or 7 pieces. You made our family the laughingstock of the people of Chang'an. Do you remember? When you were 18, you wrote, up close, it's a big rock. From afar, the rock is big. Once again, you put our family in the eye of the storm. A disgrace to the literary world. Now at 19, you've accepted the talent decree. Do you want our whole family to be in the eye of the storm again? Things have come to this. There's no use in making excuses. The current empress has just ascended the throne, and she is desperate for talent. If father strictly obstructs me, at best, it's disrespect to the empress. At worst, it's the crime of deceiving the emperor. Father, have you ever heard of the poisonous vow? The vow. There are 3 types of strategy: for oneself, for others, and for the world. Those who strategize for themselves use poisonous vows or open schemes. It harms one's hidden virtues. The strategist's poisonous vow. Ordinary means are hard to make effective. It shall be a poisonous vow for the world. Uncle Gao Qingking has come uninvited. I apologize for the intrusion. We are family, no need for formalities. Qingking, why be so polite? Uncle Gao Qingking has come this time to break off the engagement. Break off the engagement? The wedding is imminent. How can you just break it off? Where does that leave my Duke Dingguo mansion? This is my Song family's fault. But this is the decision of the entire clan. Qingking is powerless to stop it. My father specifically asked me to tell the Duke. If the Duke Dingguo mansion faces trouble in the future, our Song family will certainly do our utmost to help. Get out, tell that old man Song Li. Even if the engagement is to be broken, It will be my Duke Dingguo mansion that breaks it. What does your Song family think you are? Then my Song family will await the Duke's grand arrival. You beast! Having your engagement broken in public, and you can still laugh? Father, for such a vain woman. What's wrong with breaking the engagement? In her eyes, the new Empress has ascended. Power is shifting. And the younger generation of the family has no one capable. We are destined to go downhill. Otherwise, she wouldn't have rushed to break the engagement. The moment I accepted the talent decree, she's simply afraid the Song family will be implicated. Regarding the engagement, the Duke's mansion will not let it slide. The priority now is the Empress's examination. Just try not to make any mistakes. Otherwise, the entire mansion will be implicated. Your Majesty, the one who accepted the imperial bulletin, the son of the Assistant Minister of Revenue has arrived. Summon him to the hall. On the dragon throne, in a golden dragon robe, with a stunningly beautiful face and majestic phoenix eyes, she exudes an air of nobility, making people afraid to look directly at her. The Chan's mind began to race. The Empress has just ascended, and she wants to achieve great things. If I can cling to the Empress's support, the Duke Dingguo mansion will surely regain its glory, and my good days will last longer. Wu Zhuan's phoenix eyes fell upon the Chan. She was somewhat disappointed. She thought someone brave enough to accept the decree must be a once-in-a-million talent. Now she only hopes that in front of the officials, you won't be too ridiculous. The first question she posed to him: if you were a newly appointed magistrate in a remote county, where bandits and thugs are numerous, one day, while patrolling the town, you are cursed at by a butcher in the street. But this butcher has connections locally and even in court. What would you do? I would thank him with a smile for pointing out my shortcomings. Then I would return to the yamen and order people to deliver 10 taels of gold with drums and gongs. I'd tell everyone it's a reward for the butcher. By then the whole town will know that the butcher has 10 taels of gold. With so many bandits around, the butcher will surely die. I would have arranged for constables to watch in secret beforehand, waiting for the moment the butcher dies, to capture the criminals. Then, if you personally killed your enemy's entire family, looking at the corpses of your enemies all over the floor, and while your heart is feeling incredibly relieved, you discover there is still a child in the house. What would you do? I would say, remember my face. Next time we meet, I won't show any mercy. After saying that, I would turn to leave, then suddenly look back and laugh loudly. Kid, we meet again. My worthless son has no talent, and has offended your Majesty. It is my failure to discipline him. Everything is my fault. I beg your Majesty to punish me. Why should I punish you? Your Majesty, killing people is just a simple matter. To settle an old grudge, a floor full of corpses is enough. The child is unarmed. If he is killed indiscriminately, the methods would be far too cruel. Such a cold-blooded person, once he becomes an official, will surely bring disaster to the world. That makes sense. The great swords of our great Kian men should be used on the battlefield, not for slaughtering unarmed elderly and children. To slaughter such a child on top of that is simply barbaric. General Wang is absolutely right. We must not tolerate this. Old General Wang is absolutely right. Old General Wang is absolutely right. We must not tolerate this. Such a madman. Old General Wang's words are very reasonable. My great sword indeed does not kill the elderly or children, but I still have a small dagger. Your glib tongue cannot hide your cruel nature. I am deeply impressed, but I'm just an ordinary person. I can't let him go. Your family. How do you know they won't take revenge and wipe out your family a decade later? According to your Majesty's hypothesis, if little Nan's father back then understood the principle of eliminating all threats, there wouldn't be such a tragedy today. On the other hand, if you don't eliminate all threats now, 10 or 20 years later, another family massacre could happen again, this time to the family. I can live my whole life with guilt, but I absolutely can't spend my life in constant fear. To eliminate threats, you must root them out. That's the lesson his father taught me. Of course, the earlier turning and walking away, then suddenly looking back, was just a joke. If I were in such a situation, I'd give him a few pieces of silver, and just like General Wang said, say, the clan's blade will not strike. Let the old and young go. But secretly, I would keep watch, to see which friends or relatives he'd turn to, or who would take him away, and then deal with them all together. When striking, most people's hearts are on the left, but a few have their hearts on the right. It's best to strike both sides. You might as well stab him in the butt too. For 100-year renowned military family like the clan, to have such a cunning younger generation, if someone like him takes charge, even the earthworms in the Wang family would end up chopped in half. Your Majesty, what Bao Shilang's son said is not without reason. If there is deep hatred, it doesn't matter if they are old or young. As a soldier, I agree. When facing your enemies, kindness is not an option. You have to be ruthless. Your answer to the first question. I'm very satisfied. But that was just a small test. Becoming an official isn't so simple. Please, Your Majesty, present the next question. I'm willing to serve. This question isn't only for Gao Shilang's son. All officials present may speak their minds as well. Whoever satisfies me will be heavily entrusted by me. You are a tea merchant from another province, in Jiangnan, a remote and poor region, and you've leased a barren piece of land? But to grow tea, you first need to build a road. However, the locals are unwilling to clear the land. Even if you recruit a few locals, their work is extremely lazy. The time to plant tea is getting closer and closer. What should you do? As Wu Mao spoke calmly, for a moment, all the civil and military officials furrowed their brows. This is one of his most difficult questions. Whoever answers it perfectly must be extraordinarily talented. He glanced over the hall. Everyone bowed their heads. Even Kui Xingge was frowning deeply. This question is indeed rather difficult. A tea merchant from outside the region heads to a poor, remote area in Jiangnan, leases barren mountains. And there are 3 difficulties. First, the tea merchant is unfamiliar with the area and has no support. Second, the locals are lazy and won't work without high pay. Third, even if you offer high wages, they might still do their work poorly. Is this really so difficult, Your Majesty? If no one comes for a normal wage, then offer double. With enough money, surely some locals will answer the call to work. General Wang, I must disagree. Since he's a merchant, profits are the priority. Triple the wage would attract some workers, but wouldn't costs skyrocket? Moreover, as mentioned before, even when locals show up, most of them tend to be lazy. The tea merchant has no base in Jiangnan, so it's hard to keep people in check. How do you solve that? I failed to consider that. But Your Majesty, this question seems too hard. This is a poor and remote region. The locals are lazy by nature. If you don't raise the pay, who would answer? Besides, laziness is human nature. In poor and remote villages, people are even lazier. It's nearly impossible to stop them from slacking off. This question is unanswerable. If we're selecting great talent to serve the nation and people, the challenge can't be too easy. There are countless state affairs even trickier than this. Do we just ignore them all? I wouldn't dare. Clearing the land for cultivation isn't hard, and neither is farming. But to achieve minimum cost and maximum speed in clearing the land, That's difficult, Minister Kui. You're a top scholar. Rumor has it you wrote poetry at 8 and mastered the classics by 12. You're one of the foremost talented in Chang'an, with astonishing literary skill. Do you have a solution? Your Majesty, I have not yet come up with a solution. But if you grant me the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, I will surely provide an answer that satisfies your Majesty. Then think it over some more, Minister Kui. Lord Zhou, you are a grand scholar of the Hanlin Academy, the great advisor of our Deiqian's literary office. Do you have a solution? This old minister has not yet thought of a better way. Does Minister Yi's son have a solution? I too must reconsider. You accepted my imperial edict to seek out talent. If you can't come up with an answer, I shall charge you with deceiving your emperor. Where is He Bingwei? Your Majesty, this humble commoner has suddenly thought of a few strategies, which might just solve this problem. If your solution pleases me, not only will you be free of guilt, you will also be rewarded. Speaking from the tea merchant's point of view, his goal is very simple: to hire people cheaply to clear land, and to get the work done as quickly as possible. But most of the local villagers are lazy. Clearing land is exhausting and difficult. Even if you hire people at a high price, the tea merchant lacks local influence or prestige, so the villagers will just slack off, working on and off. If you want to accomplish this goal, you must truly understand human nature. My method is very simple. It only takes a single setup. I call this setup the monkey show trap. How do you understand human nature? And how do you set up such a trap? If I were the tea merchant, I'd first hire a dozen or so villagers, at 3 to 5 times the usual wages to clear the land. General, I thought you'd have some clever trick, but it turns out to be this basic. For the first few days, I'd have the villagers focus together on clearing one area. If the villagers slack off or nap, I'd scold them loudly, looking all anxious, making it as convincing as possible. Since laziness is the norm here, most will just pretend to comply while actually shirking. In fact, in their eyes, my frantic running around appearance would look as ridiculous as a monkey acting up. They would even secretly laugh at me and go on doing whatever they please. But after a few days, I would bury a few gold pieces in these hills, and the trap is set. Gold buried in the hills, since all the villagers were focused on one spot. As soon as someone digs up the gold, it will not escape the attention of the others. No matter how quick the finder is, others working right there will notice. When an argument erupts, I'd take the chance to step in, looking nervous, and ask for the gold to be handed over, and give them some silver for not spreading the word, keeping the news about gold from the mountain a secret, so others don't come fight for it. Just this bit of acting, and in just a few hours, the rumor of a gold mine in these hills will spread through the village. Just 1 or 2 gold pieces, and the dark side of human nature will be fully exposed. Faced with the temptation of a gold mine, the villagers will be agitated and restless. Rumors will spiral out of control, and without needing to pay wages, every family, young and old, will haul out their hoes and dig all night long. Just a bit of gold draws out human greed, forcing the entire village, young and old, to clear the hills together. Later on, I'd randomly bury gold in different spots on the mountain, cementing their belief that there's a gold mine under the barren hills. This saves a great deal in labor costs, and the villagers will keep working through the night. Minister Gao's son has truly lived up to my expectations. This is a brilliant plan. Your Majesty, please wait. The trap isn't over yet. In fact, the most sinister part is just beginning. The most vicious part begins now. In isolated, remote areas, villagers are lazy, and the local magistrate sees no benefit. Most likely, the official is corrupt. Before setting the trap, one can easily bribe him with a large sum. If you get the magistrate involved, the plan works twice as well with half the effort. No need to hold back. Let's not forget, this is just a scenario. Even in the desolate regions of Great Qin, aren't there plenty of corrupt officials? So after bribing the magistrate, what then? The land in question belongs to the state and is officially assigned to tea merchants. When villagers rush to dig for gold overnight, they're already violating state laws. If I were the tea merchant, I'd immediately report to the authorities, send officers to arrest them, confiscate what they dug up as evidence, give them not a single coin, and get the land cleared for free. Even the gold they dug up is taken back. This plan is truly vicious. First bribe the local magistrate, then use human greed to recover your own gold. Though this sounds ruthless, it accomplishes the most efficient clearance, with the least cost. So, in a way, it's still a brilliant strategy. But bribing a magistrate is no small cost. At best, villagers just return the gold. But risking their lives for it, is it really worth it, Lord Kui? Are there not countless cases of officials and merchants colluding in this land? Who would bribe local officials with a large sum so openly? Whether they're honest or corrupt, you need only walk among the people to find out. And the viciousness of this plan doesn't end there. What if those gold pieces are only gold on the outside and copper on the inside? Gold on the outside, copper inside, that's ruthless. As long as the magistrate cooperates, you can cut open the reclaimed gold on the spot and then turn around and frame the villagers. They're accused of stealing real gold and punished in court. How can ordinary villagers survive harsh punishment? Just a few rounds of torture, and those who dug up the gold would confess to anything. At this point, even if they realize the truth, it's too late. With no money to atone, all they can do is sign indenture contracts, serving as tea laborers for life. Of course, if I were the tea merchant, I'd be on guard against retaliation and always travel with several bodyguards, all the while promising these debt slave workers that if they work for me for another 5 or 10 years, I'll free them eventually. The faster they work, the sooner they'll be freed. Their freedom will be restored. Once I've made my money, my business will keep growing. Maybe I'll build a road someday. Or put up a bridge, of course, always declaring it's for the villagers' convenience. That way, I'll even earn a reputation as a great philanthropist. As soon as those words were spoken, the main hall fell completely silent. Every minister in the court fixed their eyes on the Chan, lips trembling, their hearts churning with shock. Even the Empress herself couldn't help but grip her throne tightly, gazing intently at the Chan. That answer, even for him, the man who set this problem, it was astonishing. In his view, chaos has long plagued the realm, and conventional means can't solve it. Extraordinary times require extraordinary people and unconventional methods. Only by using the darkness in human nature can the country be governed and the world made peaceful. That is how he could become the great statesman among warriors. Burying gold in barren hills, or spreading rumors and the like, are all things Wu Shuang had imagined. And to Wu Shuang, that was the perfect answer. But Wu Shuang never expected the Chan's plan had more twists. Remote, poor areas, first bribing the magistrate, then accusing the villagers by passing copper off as gold, using torture to extract confessions, and turning the gold diggers into tea slaves while thinking this plan out so thoroughly. Granting a deadline gives hope to these people who have sold themselves into slavery, so things don't end in a total disaster, a filthy scheme. In the end, somehow, he even became a great philanthropist in the area. The Chan, that playboy, has handed in a satisfactory answer. No wonder this scheme is called the monkey play. The people treat the tea merchants like monkeys. But little do they know they themselves are the real clowns. Even if this kid doesn't become an official, he absolutely cannot go into business. The Empress Wu made up her mind. If the Chan goes into business, who knows how many people he'll toy with and ruin. Kui Xingge was dumbfounded. He couldn't believe it.
He didn't expect the Chun to come up with an answer so quickly.
He started weighing the feasibility of the plan. But the more he thought about it, the more shocked he became. The Feng also turned back to stare at the Chan in disbelief. His heart trembled violently. Someone this cunning and sinister. is truly the descendant of a century-old military family. The clan. Such a vicious plan. Let alone the other ministers in the Golden Palace. Even as his own father, he's a bit scared. Your Majesty, time was too short. There are still some flaws in this scheme. If the common folk had more time, it would be even more perfect. This scheme could be even more flawless. Your Majesty, this plan is far too cruel. Please punish accordingly, Your Majesty. Son of the night market official. I agree. As it said, there's no good or bad skill. It all depends on how one uses it and their intentions. My son's idea is a bit harsh, but please judge fairly, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, I also support what Elder Joe said. This plan is too vicious. It should not be adopted. Since you ministers feel this plan is too vicious, do you all have a better solution? In my eyes, plans are neither good nor bad, a strategy that achieves the goal. Son of Gao Xiling, his plan is indeed a bit ruthless, but from the tea merchant's perspective, it's reasonable enough. It's even the best option. If everyone in the world had a clear conscience, there would be no corruption. And as for Gao Xiling's son, being able to come up with such a vicious plan in so little time shows his talent. I'm tired. Court dismissed. And off he goes. What about the promised rewards? No 10,000 gold coins. At least give me 2 beauties. This Empress is just too stingy. Outside the Golden Palace, officials were all talking. The Chan followed behind the Feng. Golden sunlight shone on them, warm and cozy, almost too bright to open their eyes. A burst of relaxed, pleasant feeling. Today's danger was completely resolved. The Chan didn't expect that the Empress would love clever schemes so much. It's all for the country and the people. When it comes to clever strategies, I'm definitely an expert. Hey, Father. The Empress didn't punish me, so I won't get a beating when we get home, right? Your performance today made me very proud, son. Ban Yu, who knows me well, is thinking of me. With my grandpa the Duke and father the assistant minister. If this were a writing contest, I'd totally win first place. Dad, what's wrong? There's an old saying, brothers hunt tigers together, fathers and sons fight side by side. It's my first time being a father. Of course I'm not perfect. Don't take it too hard. The Chan was stunned. What does that even mean? Just as the Feng and the Chan were slowly walking back, what happened in court today spread through all of Chang'an at lightning speed. Especially the Empress's 2 big questions, and the Chan's 2 big answers, were spread even faster than the wind. This speed, even faster than the Chan returning home. I have served Daqian for 50 years. All my life has been on the battlefield. I've survived life and death. Fetch my armor. I must see the Emperor. Today I boldly accepted the imperial edict seeking talent. I'm afraid someone is manipulating things behind the scenes. Youngsters messing around is normal, if not as skilled as others. It brings shame to the family. I'd let it slide. But today it was clearly directed at Yenger. Someone obviously wants to take advantage of the new Empress's coronation to target the family. If I want to protect Yenger, I have no choice but to go to the palace. But I don't know if this old face is worth anything anymore. For a duke's family, the younger generation is on a downward path. As for the grandkids, there's even less to say. All spoiled brats. The Chan, the eldest grandson, is the worst of the worst, the biggest scoundrel of all. The family looks big and prosperous, but it's actually in real danger. In the Tianlong's eyes, today will decide the family's fate. Such ill fortune for the family. The old duke has good news and bad news. How could there be any good news for the family now? The eldest son received the imperial edict seeking talent. He passed the additional exam by the emperor. What did you say? Yanger was not punished. This is being talked about all over the capital. There's no way it's fake. Everyone says, The eldest young master still hides his strengths very well. Like father, like son. A mouse's child can dig holes. As the descendants of the Tianlong, how could we really spread such terrible news? The bad news is, every one of the eldest young master's plans is vicious. He stayed silent for a long time. The common people first lashed out and cursed the eldest young master for being truly malicious. Not only did he let the people reclaim land for free, he even turned the tables and blamed them. He made them free tea laborers. And in the end, he still got the reputation of a great philanthropist. That's just too cruel. At that moment, even old Gao, who had seen countless shady, poisonous schemes, the Duke himself went silent. My eldest grandson is more ruthless than anyone. Father, how will His Majesty punish the Duke's household? The marriage was called off. The Duke didn't show up. When Gao Shilang heard that, he flew into a rage. He said this matter would not end easily. Father, by asking, do you mean something happened in court? That wastrel has been hiding his talent all along. The Duke's household turned the crisis into safety. What? That wastrel loves me dearly. Even giving up the Duke's household wouldn't be a loss. I'll definitely marry someone 100 times better. The Shan and the Feng also got out of the carriage. They pushed open the gates of the Duke's residence. The Shan then headed for his own room and immediately jumped onto his bed. The Shan began to contemplate. Though the family is in decline, even a skinny camel is bigger than a horse. A household with a duke, plus a third-rank high official. These statuses are enough for the Chan to walk around Chang'an as he pleases. Now he just needs to hold on to the Empress's thigh. Then his life in Chang'an would be beyond imagination. That's what you call a comfortable and carefree life. I wonder what kind of official post the Empress will grant me. Bro, why aren't you dead? Greetings, father. I already know all about Yanger. This unfilial son hid it very well. But what happened today is not just a good thing for this unfilial son. It's a good thing for all the family as well. But His Majesty didn't grant any rewards. This means that nothing is settled yet. Yanger is mischievous and widely known for it. Originally, Kui Xingye from the Kui family was the Empress's favorite candidate, but Yanger showed up halfway through. Kui Xingye was previously the top scholar, not only well-versed in the classics, but also skilled in governing the country. It's normal for His Majesty to hesitate. According to what I know about the Empress, between Kui Xingye and Yanger, there's still a practical test in statcraft. The current Empress is as ambitious as the previous emperor. So, according to you, father, if Yanger can't surpass Kui Xingye, won't he still be punished? Not necessarily. Do you, father, have confidence in Yanger? I've lived through 3 emperors, but it's my first time seeing such a ruthless plan. Maybe Yanger will surprise us again. It's just ruined my reputation. Besides, as long as I'm alive, I can always protect him. While I'm still alive, let him cause as much trouble as he wants. Not bad at all. Father, there's one more thing. Today, Song Qingqing, daughter of Song Li, came to break off the engagement in person. There's a lot of talk about it in Chang'an. What should we do? If they don't trust me, then let them call it off. Then don't blame me for being ruthless. All the Song family's young men in the army, kick them all out. Not one should remain. With such a disgrace, if I lose my temper, even His Majesty won't say anything. Let's not talk about this anymore. Enjoy life while you can. Come, father, let's play a game. You're a grand champion in archery and riding. Isn't it unfair to bully me, a lousy player? You sure know how to talk. How could I bully a junior? I'll give you the first move. Father, let's agree on something first. If anyone loses, no one's allowed to hit the other with the chessboard. Your Majesty, are you still thinking about Gao Shilang's son? Rumors in Chang'an are misleading. Such a ruthless strategy isn't something just any playboy could pull off. Even I have never seen such a cruel plan. This playboy's grasp of human nature especially the darkness of human nature, is terrifying. If your majesty uses him well, he could be the next great talent. So, do you think he's better or worse than Kui Shinde? Who will help me start a great enterprise? The Kui family's Kui Shinge. You have such confidence in Kui Shinge. Kui Shinge is not only the current top scholar, but also a pillar of the state. His theories on governance are incisive, and he points out the flaws in our dynasty's government. If your majesty wants to lay an everlasting foundation, Kui Shinge should be your first choice. But I favor that playboy even more. I have a feeling he's the one I've been looking for. But your majesty, that playboy has a terrible reputation. And though skilled in manipulating people, how could he compare to top scholar Kui in governing the nation? Who's better? We'll know with a test. This year, our Dachin has suffered disasters in many places. The public is boiling with discontent. Du Hai Magistrate of Linjiang County has reported. Grain is being hoarded everywhere in Linjiang City, and prices are soaring. It's hard to control. Coincidentally, the nearby Qingshui City also suffered a disaster. Grain prices are rising. The people can't afford it. I order the Duke's household to have censorate authority and take charge of all Linjiang City's affairs. Kui Shinge from the Kui family is given the post of censor for Qingshui City, in charge of all Qingshui's affairs. Your Majesty, Kui Shinge knows his limits, and is capable with him in Qingshui. Nothing will go wrong. As for that playboy, you should go with him as well, and if I've misjudged him, you can intervene in time to prevent things from getting worse. But this young man is different from others. Don't step in unless absolutely necessary. Go announce the decree. Disaster won't wait. They must set out immediately. Father, I will prove to the world that a woman can be emperor, and a woman can be the same, can make Dachin strong. I will not only make Dachin powerful, but conquer the 7 kingdoms, and end this 600-year-long chaos. By the emperor's decree, there is great disaster under heaven. Qingshui City is stricken by calamity. Kui Shinge of the Kui family has talent for governing the state. I hereby appoint Kui Shinge as temporary censor, in charge of all Qingshui City affairs, stabilize grain prices as quickly as possible, and restore peace to the people. Set out immediately. Do not make mistakes, thus decreed. I, Kui Shinge, accept the imperial edict. I will do my utmost.
His Majesty is commanded.
Lord Kui, please pack up quickly, and set out at once. Wanner still has official duties to attend to, so I'll take my leave now. If I'm not mistaken, this is a test the Empress set for you and that playboy. Whether our Kui family can gain the Empress's trust to elevate the family's wealth further, it's all up to you. When it comes to schemes and tricks, I may not compare to those spoiled heirs, but when it comes to governing, 100 of them can't match me. Clear water comes from grain prices. Grain prices will drop within 15 days. Father, wait for my good news. My son Shinge has the talent of a prime minister. Linger, you really crack me up. You really crack me up. Brother, I heard from the servants. You recklessly accepted the imperial decree and are about to be executed. Is that true? Brother, the peach blossom cakes from the east of the city. You promised to buy them for Linger. Buy them for Linger first. Otherwise, if brother is executed, who will Linger buy them from? Big brother, what are you looking for? I feel it's necessary to make your childhood more memorable. Brother, Linger was wrong. Linger was wrong. Stop running. If I don't beat you today, I'll change my name to Konohamaru. The imperial decree has arrived. I'll let you off for now. Let's see what the Empress has bestowed. Shangon Wanner holding a golden silk imperial decree, followed by a dozen palace guards. Her stunning face shows no expression. Once the imperial decree arrives, everyone in Duke Ding's residence kneels to receive it, except for one person. The Tianlong, the Duke, whose stern face commands respect. He only slightly bows, but no one finds it inappropriate, Because it's a privilege earned from 50 years of service for Da Qian, bought with his life. All his children only need to bow respectfully. Don't get accused of disrespecting the emperor. That's a serious crime. By the mandate of heaven, the emperor decrees, the world suffers disasters. The disaster in Linjiang City is severe. The Shan, grandson of Duke Ding, has talent for governing. I appoint the Shan as temporary supervisor. Censor to manage all affairs in Linjiang City. Reduce grain prices at the fastest speed. Restore peace for the people. Depart immediately. No mistakes allowed. Receive the decree and thank the emperor. Thank your majesty for the imperial grace. Now, it seems, the empress's fair legs aren't so easy to cling to. This is clearly moving from theory to practical governance. If I can't lower grain prices quickly, I'll be erased from the empress's mind. Wu Fei's boldness is truly astonishing. Using the fate of a city's people as the opportunity. Letting me practice. Isn't she worried I'll mess it up? With the abilities of a disgraceful child. How could I be fit for the position of censor? The lives of an entire city. Can't tolerate reckless actions. Master Gao. All of this is the emperor's will. You know the emperor's temperament. No one can change it. The disaster is urgent. I will wait outside. Please, official Gao, pack up quickly. Set off as soon as possible. The disaster is raging. Pack your luggage and hurry on your way. This is the emperor's test for you. If you succeed, you'll soar to new heights. But you must remember, better not to do it than to make a mistake. Even if you don't succeed, I can at least save your life. Blessing or curse, all depends on you. Linjiang City is over 200 li from Chang'an. You'll suffer along the way. Green Luo, follow Yanger and take care of him. Yes. Brother, here are the peach blossom cakes. Take them to eat on the road. Brother, you'll be gone at least half a month. Or a month, don't worry. The young lady you often take care of at Yanzi Pavilion in the capital. Your little brother will take care of her for you. No need to worry. Little beast, get out within 3 breaths. Brother, rest assured. I'll take good care of your woman. The Feng painfully closed his eyes. This disobedient brat. I really regret it. Otherwise, my blood pressure wouldn't spike every day. Father, no need to get angry. As they say, the eldest brother is like a father. When I return, I'll handle him properly. Have him truly repent and reform. This is an opportunity and a crisis. Chang'an is full of hidden currents now. If you're not confident when you act, just do what your grandfather said. The family can always protect you. Remember, don't show off or let things spiral out of control. Just like an eagle will eventually spread its wings. Under the protection of family, how can you overlook the world? Your Majesty has just ascended the throne. If I am given important responsibilities, I will surely bring another century of glory to the Duke of State's mansion. There are far too many people who want to bring down the family. We must hold tight to the Empress's beautiful legs. Pitch. Both of Linjiang City's rivals must be destroyed. Heaven ultimately protected me. The family is passing down my orders. Confine that bastard for me. Yang hasn't come back. He can't leave the Duke's mansion even for a single step. Otherwise, I'll break all 3 of his legs. Lord Shangguan, why are you here?
His Majesty has decreed.
He ordered me to accompany you to Linjiang City. After all, it's all about the city's people. There can be no mistakes. Young Master Gao truly is intelligent. No wonder His Majesty values him so highly. No wonder he's valued. Looks like I'm not the only one being tested by His Majesty. If my guess is right, it's also Scholar Kui, isn't it? How did you know? How much authority do I have on this mission? You hold absolute power over life and death. Everything in Linjiang City, from the magistrate down to the commoners. Young Master Gao can command them all, including you. Lord Shangguan, take a look at your leg. Young Master Gao, isn't that comment a bit too forward? That matter is actually easy to solve. A bunch of grain merchants are exploiting the disaster and sharply raising prices. Young Master, perhaps you should first inspect this servant's leg. How long until the imperial censor arrives? No need to rush, Magistrate Du. Should be arriving soon. The 4 major grain merchants are disobeying orders. Grain prices are skyrocketing. How can the people afford it? Lord Du, someone from afar has arrived. Finally here. Lord Du, this is the Empress's appointed inspector censor, especially assigned to oversee the Linjiang City disaster. From this moment on, all affairs in Linjiang City will be under young Master Gao's control. Dujiang, Magistrate of Linjiang County, greets young Master Li. Lord Du, you may dispense with formalities. We've delayed for 2 days. How are things inside the city now? Please come inside, young Master Li. The heavy rains just stopped in the past few days. After the flooding, the grain crops have failed. All major grain merchants in Linjiang City have been frantically hoarding grain, causing grain prices to jump from 40 yuan per bucket in just 10 days, up to 100 yuan per bucket. If I hadn't ordered the granaries to open and distribute grain, the price would be climbing higher. Also, the heavy rains destroyed some farmland outside the city, leaving people homeless. Large numbers of refugees have entered Linjiang City, desperately needing resettlement. Otherwise, chaos could break out. Young Master Li, how do you plan to resolve this crisis? This situation is not difficult to solve. Please advise us, Instructor Li. I thank you on behalf of 100,000 citizens. First, close Linjiang City's granaries. Young Master Li, are you deliberately causing trouble? I'm currently opening the granaries. Yet grain prices in Linjiang City are still hard to control, let alone shutting them. I'm afraid the minute the county office issues orders, city grain prices will instantly break 100 yuan per bucket. Such astronomical grain prices. How could people afford to buy it? These past few years in Daqian, it was either drought or endless rains. Our Qin dynasty hasn't produced much grain. How much reserve grain is left in Linjiang City's granaries? Is it enough for 100,000 citizens to eat for 5 days? No, it's not. But as soon as the granaries are shut, grain prices in Linjiang City will soar again. Wouldn't people be even less able to buy food? Young Master Li, I must disagree with your proposal. Please pardon me for not being able to agree. Even if we keep distributing grain at a price of 100 yuan per bucket, Lord Du, how many people do you think can afford it? Furthermore, I'm not explaining this to you. I'm giving orders. You don't have a choice. I will immediately dispatch people to shut the granaries of Linjiang City and post official notices. But, young Master Li, you'd better be sure about this. If grain prices rise uncontrollably, no way to stop it. For 7 days. If Linjiang City's grain price doesn't drop, I will bear all consequences myself, even if it costs me my life. In Du Jiang's view, the Shan must be a fame-chasing opportunist. He must have used some method to gain the trust of Her Majesty the Empress. The fate of the city, the life and death of tens of thousands. How could he be so reckless? Du Jiang has secretly made up his mind. If things get out of control, even if it costs him his official hat, he must take you down, even though the Chan is backed by the Empress. Even if you wield overwhelming power, but in Du Jiang's heart, the lives of commoners are above all. For now, he will watch what you do. Bring me the map of the Linjiang City area. How is grain usually transported in Linjiang City? Naturally, both roads and waterways are used. But Linjiang City is famous for its proximity to Qingshui River. So water transport is used more often. It's fast and causes little loss. Young Master Li, do you already have a brilliant plan? The largest grain merchants in Linjiang City. Mr. Du, are you aware? During this disaster, they're even more aggressively sweeping up all market grain, making local small traders follow suit and hoard grains, profiting hugely from the national calamity. This is why, in just a few weeks, grain prices in Linjiang City have almost doubled. But right now, Her Majesty has just ascended. Linjiang City is known for its fierce populace. We can't suppress them by force, or chaos could erupt. By then, the consequences would be unbearable for anyone. Please have Magistrate Du prepare a good feast for me to host these 4 major families. Young Master Li, to be honest, I've already tried a little intimidation, caught this golden opportunity, and hoarded grain extensively. They definitely won't give in easily. Just do as I say. Then I'll watch how you handle it, young Master Li. Nearby, Shangguan Wanner looked at the Chun, but said nothing. Though she was secretly very curious, what exactly is the Chun trying to do? Young Master Li, those grain merchants are all sly old foxes. Getting them to lower prices is probably harder than killing them. At most, they'll cut 5 wen. 5 wen is their limit. Magistrate Du, keep a calm mind. As a county magistrate, if even you panic, how can you judge capable officials? We greet Night Melody Envoy Sixu. The Wen, Qian, Zhao Han, Lin 4 great families have been in Linjiang City for 100 years. They are famous wealthy merchants for miles around. Why do they look so down and out today? Inspector, that you may not know. Linjiang City was struck by heavy rain. The fertile fields were completely destroyed, resulting in refugees everywhere. People have no food to eat. We are truly heartbroken. We've suffered losses all this time and donated large sums of silver for disaster relief. Now we are running deficits. But after all that generosity and hardship, we are almost out of grain. Inspector Day has arrived. Our burdens are much lighter. There are over 100 people supported in the mansion. They hoard grain instead of saving lives. Shameless. They really deserve to die. The 4 family heads are upright and noble. It's just that I am appointed by the Empress. Take over everything here. My Lin family is willing to show sincerity. Reduce the price ourselves. Sell grain at a loss. Lower by 5 or 8 when ourselves. What does the censor think? The Chan still shook his head. The faces of the 4 major grain merchants all turned extremely ugly. This playboy is forcing them to fall out with him. Du Jiang looked at the Chun with a cold sneer. This is pretty much what he expected. He wanted to see how the Chun would handle it. All the grain in your hands must be raised to 150 wen per do. It can only go up, not down. If anyone dares sell for less, I will execute them. No less than 150 wen per do. For a moment, the entire county office fell silent. Everyone was stunned. They even forgot to speak. Du Jiang was planning to see how the Chun would handle these tough merchants. Maybe persuade them to lower the price more. But the Chun had no intention of lowering the price. Instead, he raised it directly, and even forbade the merchants from selling grain at a low price. What is he trying to do? Is he planning to starve everyone in Linjiang City? No matter how dissatisfied Du Jiang was, he couldn't question the Chun in front of the 4 merchants. Otherwise, it would be a serious crime for disrespecting a superior. Shangguan Wanner was also shocked. Her beautiful eyes were full of confusion. They came to Linjiang City. Weren't they supposed to lower the grain prices? Shangguan Wanner just couldn't figure it out. She had followed the Empress in governing, met too many officials, scheming and vicious ones, upright and honest ones, impartial in handling matters. But it's the first time she'd seen an official like the Chun who does things so differently. Did you just say, you want us not to sell below 150 wen per do? Is it so hard to understand what I mean? The price is 150 wen per dough. Anyone who dares to sell below that price. If I find out, you will lose your head. Did you all hear it clearly this time? Censor Lord, will there be a notice for this? After this meal, no grain may be sold below 150 wen per dough. Notices will be posted on every street in Linjiang City. What is Elder Lin's new plan with this jade? He's actually raising the grain price to 150 wen. Is there something fishy going on? I've lived half my life. I've never seen grain prices drop after skyrocketing. Whatever his plan is, we should take the chance to make a big profit now. HMPH, such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Anyone who seizes it will ensure their family's wealth for 100 years. No matter how chaotic Linjiang City becomes, it's none of our business, because we are only following the orders from the county office. A huge fortune is right in front of our eyes. If you are still hesitating, you are truly foolish. Calm down, Elder Lin. But as Elder Lin said, this really is an enormous fortune. Once the county government posted the notice, the price of grain will definitely be more than 150 copper coins. In chaotic times, grain prices never have a ceiling. People will sell everything they have just to buy it. I want this notice posted all over the city. Once the notice is out, there's no turning back. Once the notice is out, there's no turning back. The county government will be drowned in the people's spit. Official do follow my instructions. The rest isn't your concern, sir. Do you know the consequences of doing this? Once the notice is out, in less than 10 or 15 days, Linjiang City will surely become a living hell. Countless people will starve to death. Families will be torn apart. Even losing a child is not impossible. I am a man of integrity. I've never begged anyone. Grain at 150 copper coins. The people can't afford it. I beg you, sir, to revoke this command. Official Do wants to lower the grain price. There's no need to desperately force down the price. Remember, the harder you press a spring, the scarier the rebound will be. In 7 days, everything will be fine. I won't risk my life. Currently, the Great Qian has suffered heavy rainfall. Linjiang City isn't the only city affected. All 16 cities of Guangyang County have been hit by disaster. Linjiang City's disaster is just the most severe. A single change affects everything. Countless people will be left homeless. Lowering grain prices is only one part. Letting people survive through the disaster and even make a living, that's the most important thing. So how should we do it? Official Do, take me around. I see this government office is really old and damaged. In a few days, when grain prices drop, we can have it renovated. Sir Shangguan, are you really going to sit by and watch the people of Linjiang suffer? Her Majesty, the Empress, has decreed all matters, big or small, in Linjiang City are to be handled by young Master Li. But if things get urgent and become out of control, I will step in to stop it. I'm afraid it'll be too late by then. This must be reported to Her Majesty as soon as possible.
If he keeps acting reckless.
Hundreds of thousands of people in Linjiang City will be doomed. Bring me my brush and ink. I must write up a report overnight with 800-mile urgent delivery.
How can Linjiang City be ignored?
A report is being sent by urgent post. The Linjiang City urgent report has arrived. This is unbelievable. This playboy dared to collude with officials and merchants to raise grain prices. He not only refuses to let the local grain merchants lower prices, he even wants to sell grain at a high price. This is simply outrageous. Wait, no. This playboy doesn't seem incompetent. Could he have his own agenda? On one hand, raising grain prices in Linjiang City. On the other, raising grain prices in the capital sky high. What are you really trying to do? You're just making trouble for me. Tomorrow's morning court won't be peaceful. Duke Dingguo Shu draws too much attention. Many in the court want him to fall. By the rules of the Great Qian, one copy of any impeachment goes to his study. Another goes to the censorate. Tomorrow is bound to be a storm. Wushu sits high on the dragon throne. His face is cold. A majestic air surrounds him. Civil and military officials line both sides. Your Majesty, I impeach the Chun son of Duke Dingguo. The Chun has been entrusted by Your Majesty as the supervisory censor in Linjiang City. Yet he colludes with officials and merchants. He ordered that the grain price in Linjiang City cannot fall below 150 copper coins per dough, and wants to renovate the government offices on a large scale. Such actions are foolish and incompetent. I ask Your Majesty to punish severely. To set an example, Censor Yan Zheng is upright and brash. He criticizes anyone he dislikes. He scolds them all, high and low. No one dares escape his criticism. With his appearance, everyone's expression changed. Yan Zheng's impeachment. Those impeached will either die or be left skinless. The Feng stared with wide eyes. He felt like he'd been hit hard by those words. Officials and merchants are working together to control grain prices. He ordered grain prices in Linjiang City not to drop below 150 copper coins per dough. 150 copper coins per dough. That will leave the whole city starving. I agree. Please punish him, Your Majesty. Wangyang County is badly hit by disaster. Such sky-high prices will spark public anger. Please step in, Your Majesty. I second the Feng's motion. His face turned dark. His expression was icy. He couldn't help but look at Wu Zhuo. Currently, only one can make the decision. The Empress herself. The grandson of Duke Dingguo doesn't follow the ordinary path. Since I promised, he must have extraordinary talent. He deserves extraordinary treatment, just as the situation calls for. It's only been 2 days. Why rush, my ministers? Who knows? Maybe Duke Dingguo's grandson will deliver a satisfying answer. If you want grain prices to drop, why raise them sky high? This playboy is simply incompetent. He can't take on this responsibility. Elder General Wang, are you questioning my judgment? I would never dare, Your Majesty. Linjiang City won't descend into chaos. I've already prepared backup plans. Magistrate Du, since you've said the Chun, Duke Dingguo's grandson, is all talk, that he'll lower grain prices in 7 days. Then give him 7 days. I've made my decision. No more discussion. 80 copper coins per dough. How can we survive with this? Sir, we commoners beg you on our knees. Please show mercy and bend the law. Open the granary and release grain. Otherwise, my whole family will starve to death. Today, the price has already passed 200 copper coins per dough. These damned grain merchants. They won't even sell at 200 copper coins per dough. They're heartless beasts feeding on people's misery. They'll get their retribution sooner or later. Today marks the 7th day. But grain prices in Linjiang City haven't dropped. Instead, they've risen to 200 copper coins per dough. That's 20 more than the 150 copper coins per dough in the notice. The people's grain stock is running out, and the county government can't open the granary. In a few more days, with unrest sweeping through, major chaos will erupt.
He should be at Wagwo Temple.
Off to the temple again. Issued a price cap order. Playing in the river and praying at the temple. Still wants to renovate the county office. Such lax management. How can grain prices drop? The 7-day deadline has arrived. I'm going to find young Master the Now. See how he guarantees the grain prices will fall. Du Jiang's face was dark. During these 7 days, the Shan was either playing in Shangqing River or praying in temples. He even wants to renovate the county government and host a big sports event. With this kind of neglect, how can Linjiang City's grain prices fall? Night Censor. A full 7 days have passed. But not only did grain prices in Linjiang City not fall, they kept climbing. Ever since you issued that decree, grain prices shot up to 150 copper coins per dough. But that's not all. They keep rising. Now it's 200 copper coins per dough. Since the notice was posted at the county government, every day people beg outside the office. If this continues, the situation will get out of control. By then, it'll be too late for anything. Are you really not afraid? If you keep going like this, Linjiang City will fall into chaos. Have the 4 major grain merchants made any moves recently? Since the proclamation was posted, they've spent a huge amount of silver. buying up grain from small dealers at 100 coins per bushel. They're desperately sweeping up any grain the small merchants have. Even if offered 150 coins, they still won't sell. They're stockpiling grain waiting for the price to rise. This group won't even sell at 200 coins per bushel. Tomorrow we recruit workers to renovate the government office and post the proclamations. I'm going to organize a dragon boat race. Whoever wins first place will be exempt from business tax for 3 years. What? I will do as you say. But Lord Thee, even though you are the grandson of Duke Dinguo, causing such a big disaster, you won't be able to bear the consequences. Young Master Thee, what is it you really want to do? Otherwise, I'll have no choice but to take charge of Linjing City for you. Lord Shangguan, please take action soon. If not, once the people revolt, it will lead to an irreparable catastrophe. You clearly don't like Buddha. There are many followers in Chang'an. I've seen the look in their eyes, filled with a unique and incomprehensible fanaticism. But you don't have it. In other words, visiting all the temples these past few days isn't really your intention. Renovating the county office is even more baffling. In a short time, you'll have to return to Chang'an. So why do you want to renovate the county office? Bearing the scorn of an entire city and making the city wall prices surge. Young Master Yi, you have to explain all this to me. I think young Master Yi must know something. After Shangguan Wan'er spoke, Du Jiang also sensed something was off. All these actions are extremely abnormal. No matter how devoted a Buddhist, you wouldn't pray and burn incense every day. Renovating the county office is even more thankless. The Shan will eventually return to Chang'an. No matter how much of a playboy he is, he wouldn't bother with such a thankless task. Could the Chan really have another plan? Lord Do you still remember what I told you 7 days ago? Was it about wanting to lower grain prices? You don't necessarily have to force prices down. But with grain prices skyrocketing, merchants are greedy. If they can't squeeze a profit, how would they ever back down? Lord Du, let me ask you this. The 4 major grain merchants have joined forces. Even if they try to force prices down, how much can they really lower? 8 coins or 18 coins. Even if grain dropped to 80 coins per bushel, how many ordinary people could afford that? Unless you raise your blade and kill them all. But once you start killing, every merchant in the city will be terrified. And to ordinary citizens, whether it's 100 or 150 coins per bushel, or even 200 coins per bushel, there's not much difference. They still can't afford it. But with grain prices in Linjiang City skyrocketing, and even the government ordering no sales below 150 coins per bushel, what will that attract here? Who will come because of this? In Dujiang and Shangguan Wan'er's minds, the same thought almost simultaneously popped up, outside grain merchants. Could it be that the 4 major grain merchants in Qianzhou and Hanlin are greedily sweeping up local grain and driving up grain prices? The local small merchants are also hoarding grain, fantasizing about selling it at sky-high prices. Greed is the nature of merchants. News of soaring grain prices will spread everywhere at terrifying speed. These days, by the city gate and docks, the number of wagons and boats transporting grain is increasing daily. Foreign grain merchants raise prices every day. Linjiang City hasn't been short on grain for a long time. The current price is just an inflated bubble. One poke and it'll burst. Trying to profit from a national disaster, I'll make them lose everything. Now the magistrate wants to renovate the county yamen and hold dragon boat races. What's the intention behind this? County magistrate you'll know after some time. For the common people, even 50 coins per do still requires money to buy grain. My lord, I am guilty. Not only am I foolish, I even impeached you, my lord. Most of the people in the county office are under the good merchant's influence. That's why I don't even mention a trivial impeachment. You don't have to take it to heart. Just an hour ago, my lord, I wrote another letter, with even stronger wording, and even more urgency. I'll immediately write another letter, and send it to Chang'an by fast courier. Young Master Li, no need to worry. Master Shangguan, tonight fill the sandbags with sand, and do not let the news leak out. I have a big use for this information. I'll carry His Majesty's decree, and mobilize the troops outside the city to cooperate with you. Today is the last wild celebration for the grain merchants. Tomorrow, I'll let them experience true despair. Report: Kingshui City's grain price has dropped to 82 coins. Top scholar Kui has publicly stated, it can still go down further. A drop of 7 coins does not ruin the court's prestige. It has actually dropped by 18 coins. He truly deserves the title of top scholar. This old man, Song Li, requests His Majesty to reward censor Kui Shengai. Song Li doesn't mind selling Kui Shengai a favor in the officialdom. With a few exchanges, feelings deepen. Not to mention, in his eyes, Kui Shengai is already the ideal son-in-law for the Song family. I request His Majesty to set top scholar Kui as a model, so all officials may learn from him. We second the motion. In just 7 days, the price has dropped by 18 coins. Kui Shengai is indeed very capable. Kingshui City is just a dozen miles from Linjiang City. Kingshui's grain price is as low as 82 coins. Who knows what Linjiang City's price should be? The news from Kingshui has arrived, so Linjiang City's price must be coming soon. The Feng's expression became grim. The 7-day period is up. If the Chun fails to bring Linjiang City's price down and stabilize it, then today will be dangerous. Especially because Kui Shengai has produced a nearly perfect answer sheet. If the Chun doesn't handle this,
He might not be able to give a proper explanation.
report on Linjiang City's grain price. Latest news: Linjiang City's grain price has already exceeded 200 coins per dough. The common people's complaints are growing louder. County Magistrate Du Jiang of Linjiang sent a second urgent report, impeaching censor the Chun. Linjiang City's grain price has already gone over 200 coins per dough. The information is confirmed correct. Your Majesty, the news is absolutely true. For these 7 days, the price has been skyrocketing. It may be even higher by now. The Feng was also shocked. His eyes showed disbelief. What's wrong with this brat? Weren't you supposed to soar high above like a young eagle, shouldering the responsibilities of the Duke Dingguo's residence? Wow, grain prices exceeding 200 coins per dough. Is he trying to put the entire Duke Dingguo's household onto the execution block? Magistrate Du urgently reports to censor that not only did he not drop the price, he also wants to renovate the county office and organize dragon boat races. With these words, the entire court was stunned. Disasters everywhere. And you, the Chun, not only drove Linjiang City's price sky high, you even want to take advantage of the situation to use the refugees to rebuild the yamen and host grand events. Absurd. Such treachery, I will never tolerate. I implore your Majesty to severely punish the grandson of Duke Dingguo and calm the anger of the people. I support this. We officials support this motion and ask your Majesty to punish him severely. For a moment, the ancient immortal's beautiful face was icy cold, silent and speechless. He firmly believed in his instincts. The Chun couldn't possibly be so foolish. Such moves in succession. Even the most spoiled in Chang'an's noble families wouldn't be this stupid. He must have his own reason. But even as the Empress of Great Qin, she felt immense pressure now. The Feng's expression turned grim as well. In a year of disaster, oppressing the people, renovating the county office, and holding major sporting events, it's as if he wants to take Duke Dingguo's entire family and drag them all along with this brat. When he comes back, he must be punished severely. But right now he still needs to step up. You punish your own son yourself. This bunch can't be allowed to kick him while he's down. Who knows if he can handle this? Ah, Duke Ninggo. Minister the Tianlong pays respects to your majesty. Duke Dingguo, please rise. I am here for one reason only. Linjiang City won't fall into chaos. Can we wait 3 more days? Inside the Linjiang County office, the Shan stands in the main hall with his hands behind his back, his eyes looking outside. Even with the yamen doors closed, he can still hear the people's angry voices. Linjiang City is about to erupt. Du Jiang anxiously paced inside the office, frequently glancing at the Chun, with a worried look. Now he's just afraid Linjiang will fall into chaos first, and then it will be too late. Master Du, you've been pacing around over 10 times this morning already. You're making me dizzy. My lord, you can sit tight amid all the unrest outside, but I can't. Such nerves as yours are rare in this world. There are few with your mentality. Master Du, go to the Linjiang County seal. The fish is already in the net, it's time to strike. My lord, you can close the net now. Immediately post the official notice. Announce that all city granaries in Linjiang are now open. Sell all grain at 105 coins per dough. This notice must be spread throughout every street and alley in Linjiang. Starting right now, send troops to take control of the docks. No cargo boat may leave the city. Anyone violating this order will be executed. Station heavy guards at the city gates of Linjiang. Not a single grain may leave the city. We will faithfully carry out your orders, my lord. Shangan Wanner was even more shocked internally by the ruthlessness. So ruthless opening all granaries, selling at only 105 coins per dough to impact the market, and blockading all city gates and docks. With this strategy, all the major merchants will be thrown into panic. My lord, if the grain merchants hold out, and the granaries sell out, what then? Sell early and you profit. Sell late and you go broke. Or don't sell and you lose everything. Either way, grain loss and huge costs add up. If it were you, Master Du, what would you choose? Schemes can be dodged. But how do you avoid an open scheme? I will handle it right away. Wait. Do you have any other instructions, sir? The granary doesn't have much grain left. Don't sell it too quickly. Have the people line up to buy. Register each household. Then release news saying His Majesty ordered disaster relief. Sent 100,000 carts of grain to Linjiang. I despise grain merchants the most. So all these profiteers trying to make money off national calamity will go bankrupt. This kind of rumor, outside grain merchants probably won't believe it. You're wrong, Lord Shangguan. The grain restriction order could be 10 days. Or it could be half a month. It all depends on my mood. Sir, this strategy is truly ruthless. These grain merchants have really met their match with you. It's like they've had terrible luck for 10 generations. The grain price in Linjiang City will probably collapse. Lord Shangan, you still don't understand human nature. These outside grain merchants came from dozens of miles away to sell grain. On the road, they lose at least 1/10 for laborers and helpers. They need to pay daily wages and meal costs. Every extra day, their costs keep rising. Even if they stubbornly refuse to sell, going back costs them even more. At this point, even the slightest disturbance will have them panicking and jumpy, treating every rustle as an enemy. The truly powerful part of this scheme is the stampede. The first batch of grain merchants can still profit. The ones who act late won't get a drop. Young master, you wouldn't ever sell me off one day and have me count your money, would you? Do I seem like that kind of person? Come, give me a shoulder massage. This massage isn't comfortable. Then you better be careful. Young master, please have a seat. Right after, Green Ivy attentively massaged the Chun's shoulders. This made the Chun really amused. Not just Green Ivy. Even Shangguan Wanner, looking at the Chun's delicate face, was seized by a sudden sense of dread. It's hard to imagine that a young master from a century-old general family could have such a dark heart. But he actually feels a sense of exhilaration. In Shangguan Wanner's mind, suddenly recalled Wu Fan's words. He suddenly understood. Corrupt officials and unscrupulous merchants everywhere. Their ruthlessness and cruelty are beyond imagination. Ordinary methods can't curb them. Only evil can vanquish evil. With the Chun's extraordinary tactics, how much lower will prices drop? Shangguan Wanner is uncertain, but he knows it will never be 82 coins per dough. With an ancestral blade in hand, he will kill all the corrupt officials in the world. That is what a real man should do. Husband, don't go. Take some silver and go back to your mother's home. If I die, remarry then. No one in the whole city dares to go. Grain prices soar. People starve to death. The only way out is to kill those corrupt officials. The only way out is to kill those corrupt officials. In the next life, I'll make it up to you properly. Post the proclamation per the imperial censor's orders. From this moment on, open the granaries and distribute grain. Just 105 coins per bushel. You can buy grain at a low price. No limit on quantity. The people can line up to buy as they wish. What does opening the granaries mean? Selling grain at 105 coins per bushel. They're opening the granaries. Finally, they're opening the granaries. 105 coins per bushel. We're saved. We're saved. It actually dropped. Post the proclamation per the imperial censor's orders. Open the granaries and distribute grain. Only 105 coins per bushel. No limit on quantity. People can line up to buy as they wish. Elder Lin, the grain price in Linjiang City has reached 220 coins per bushel. Shouldn't we make a move now? Don't panic. As long as my 4-egg family works together in Linjiang City, we'll completely control the grain prices. This is a windfall of enormous wealth. The absolute minimum should be 250 coins per bushel. Old Li, we have trouble. The county office suddenly posted a proclamation, selling low-priced grain at 105 coins per bushel. The people rushed upon hearing the news, formed a massive line. Can't even see the end. What? That kid Gao is playing dirty. Clearly, he's trying to trap us. Elder Lin, what should we do? Continuous disasters. Grain prices soared. How much grain could Linjiang City's granaries hold? Is it enough for the whole city? There are more than 100,000 citizens in Linjiang City. Poor harvests in previous years. The granaries must not have abundant grain. The county office's move is just forcing us to panic and sell our grain, reducing grain prices. I underestimated this night censor sent from Chang'an. Whatever he puts out, we buy just as much. I want to see how much grain he actually has. Our honor rises and falls together. Follow Elder Lin closely and report to the official. Among those coming to buy grain, there are noticeably more unfamiliar faces. They scramble to buy grain and purchase in large quantities. Some even stir up trouble, saying the granaries are out of grain, disturbing the public. Official, please make a swift decision. This must be the 4 major grain merchants causing trouble. Grain prices in Linjiang City are falling sharply. They're hit the hardest, which is why they're swarming. To maintain the stockpile price, it can go down. Official, your subordinates have always had people monitoring the shops everywhere. No movement so far. The price hasn't dropped yet. What should we do now? With the 4 major grain merchants cleaning out stock, the granary supply might sell out quickly. If the people find out, a new panic will definitely follow. Give the order, throw out those with ulterior motives. Slow down the grain selling. They want chaos. Doing this only helps them. I've just decided to change my mind. They're so rich and bold. If they want to clean us out, then let's give them exactly that. If you go at this pace, official, in less than a day, you'll be cleaned out by the 4 major grain merchants. The other grain merchants in Linjiang City are still watching. Grain prices are still sky high. So many people and the 4 major grain merchants. That's not good for the market. Watching and waiting is human nature. Begin step 1 of the granary opening plan. Seal off the city gates and docks immediately. Order soldiers outside the city to escort officials inside. Enter the grain depot. Anyone daring to approach this batch of grain will be executed on the spot. Let the people watch the grain enter the city with their own eyes. Within a single day, grain prices will drop and goods will be released. Show this token, as if His Majesty is present. Seal the city gates immediately. Not a single grain may leave the city, or they'll be executed without mercy. We strictly obey His Majesty's order. Traveling along the route, not a single grain may leave the city. This grain is disaster relief from the imperial court. It has arrived.
His Majesty has issued an order.
Special approval for 100,000 carts of disaster relief grain. Everyone gets a share, as much as you need.
His Majesty didn't forget us.
Long live His Majesty. Those 100,000 carts are filled with sand and dirt, trying to trick me into cleaning them out and buying up everything. At this point, we'll weather this together. Report. Others are still buying large amounts of grain in batches. If they want it, keep selling. Sell it all. Follow the Imperial Censor's instructions. Lord Du, come switch to plain clothes with me. Let's go take a walk together. The real show is about to begin. Grain prices are about to plunge. The stampede has begun. In the face of the big picture, the 4 major grain merchants are like ants against a cart. Imperial Censor, you're trying to ruin us, adding in the buying price of 70 coins, plus the shipping costs. It totals 80 coins per bushel. Selling at 105 still nets a profit of 25 coins per bushel. Go even slower. Sell until the family is ruined. Sell it all under 105 coins. That bastard is playing dirty. If he sells, I'll sell too. 93 coins per bushel. Your general is still selling. Ah! How did you pull this off, official? This is human nature. Once the first seller makes a move, everyone else jumps in. Plunged by 120 coins. The lowest is now 93 coins. 93 coins per bushel. Lord Du, you underestimated the chain reaction. These out-of-town grain merchants just fired the first shot for price cuts. The true crash hasn't started yet. Official, are you saying the big grain merchants in Linjiang City haven't sold yet? But that's impossible. The methods of Xiao, Han, Lin, and the 4 are more than enough to explain to Chang'an. I will report to the Empress to request credit for you, official. It's solid as iron. Lord Du, you overestimate these 4 big families. Remember this line. This saying isn't just true in Great Qian. Even a century or a millennium later, it still holds true. Easy to live together, hard to die together. Easy to share wealth, hard to share hardship. This is the difficulty in the world. Under profit, there are no friends. The plummet of Linjiang City's grain prices, from outsiders coming into my opening the granaries. Nothing can stop it. The drop in Zhangjiang City's grain price is a major event. No one can stop it. Your words are like a wake-up call. They help me see clearly. Thank you, official, for your guidance. Du Jiang's gaze is sincere. It shows heartfelt respect. Only now does he understand what the Shan said 7 days ago. Everything was part of his plan. To lower grain prices. He didn't need to force the price down. First, only allow high-priced grain sales, not allow low-priced grain sales. Once the outsiders are in, order the county office to open the granaries. Force those outsiders to sell first. The price will crash right afterward.
Oh, wow.
Official, this open strategy. I truly admire you. What if they don't sell off? That's human nature. It's irresistible. Too many grain merchants from out of town poured in over these 7 days. So many grain merchants from other places. There's no way their ideas are the same. Each person faces different challenges, so their choices vary greatly. The grain held by Li Jiaqing's 4 major grain merchants is mostly last year's old grain. That's because we just had a huge disaster last year, when prices ranged from 50 to 70 coins per dough on the market. They took the chance to stockpile grain. Their costs are low enough, so they're not worried. Everyone in Guangyang County has had a tough time these years. Grain prices have skyrocketed. Some went bankrupt hoping to make a big profit. Some bought grain at a high price, traveled dozens of kilometers hoping to earn the price difference. Just the cost for these dozens of miles is already a frightening number. Not to mention some bought grain with spare money. Some bought grain risking everything. With so many thoughts, it's hard for everyone to agree. Their panic selling is inevitable. And if not a single person sells off, then I will take responsibility with my life. I'll confess my guilt to His Majesty. Losing my head is just a big scar. So what if that happens? Sir, your unflappable attitude even in the face of disaster. I truly admire it. So, Senior Gao, why did you order the palace guards to protect you? Ever since the day the county office posted the notice? You even wear a layer of fake meat inside. Are you sure it's not to guard against public outrage? Afraid of vicious people trying to assassinate you? That's not all. The eldest son also ordered maids to provide close protection, not leaving your side for a moment. The situation in Linjiang City is set. No need to watch anymore. Just wait for grain prices to crash. Grain prices in Linjiang City have dropped to just 93 coins per dough. Then order people to sweep the streets on a large scale. And post another notice. The county grain warehouse is well stocked. Drop another 15 coins. Only 90 coins per dough. I'll do it right away. The grain price has dropped. Did everyone hear? Now it's only 93 coins per dough at the lowest. Many big grain merchants are frantically selling off. The grain price has finally come down. Li Lao, the grain price dropped to 93 coins during the off hours. Impossible. I just spent hundreds of thousands buying up supplies. If you dare talk nonsense again, you'll be beaten to death. It's out-of-town grain merchants selling on a massive scale. It looks like the price will drop below 90 coins. Nonsense, my 4 families dominate the market. Where are there so many out-of-town merchants? I know what's going on. The Shan turned out to be so cunning and ruthless. Li Lao, what did you find out? Hurry up, tell us. I've played with eagles my whole life. But in the end, the eagle pecked out my own eyes. Lin Lao, stop keeping us in suspense. What exactly is this inspector the planning? Posting the notice makes it so we can't buy grain for less than 150 coins per dough. Do you really think that the Chun and Shire are just giving us a huge fortune for free? When grain prices soar to 150 coins per dough, aside from us benefiting, who else will be attracted? Grain merchants from counties around Linjiang City. The Shan wants to drive up Linjiang's grain prices to lure 2,000 government officers. A huge number, and yet we still haven't realized it. Instead, at the price of 105 coins per dough, they fully acquired the old grain from the county granaries. That child, the Chun, is truly ruthless. If they had sold earlier, they would have made a huge profit. Blame us for being greedy. We were too passive. Grain prices are plummeting. Should we hoard or sell? The county office posted a notice, claiming granary stocks are sufficient. The imperial censor is mindful of the people, ordered Linjiang County to release grain from the granaries, to sell at 90 coins per dough. That's another 15 coins less per dough. Imperial censor, this is killing us. Not just that. I saw people from the county office handling grain. The county used our money and bought a lot of grain at 93 coins per dough. Bought plenty of grain, then resold at 90 coins. Back and forth. He still made 7 coins profit each time. Oh, the Chun, I really underestimated him. This contest is far from over. Out-of-town merchants can drive prices down. But in just 7 days, there won't be that much grain. Even the county granaries are full of sand. As long as we unite, stick to our bottom line. If grain prices even return to 100 coins per dough, Linjiang City will be in trouble. It'll really be over for them. Oh, Ling, you make a good point. Such clumsy schemes. Advance and retreat together. As long as we hold the grain, we might not lose this contest. I'll go back home and give orders now. Not a single grain is allowed to enter the market. Farewell, old Lin. Don't worry, my son and I will stand together. Goodbye. Old Lin, I'll instruct the Lin family stores not to lower the price by a single coin. Foolish old Lin. I won't sell. But what if they sell secretly? By that time, the only route left for me is bankruptcy. Best to strike early. If you hesitate, you'll suffer. Officially don't sell. Privately sell to me as quickly as possible, at a price of 90 coins per dough. Don't sell for 877 coins per dough. Sell for 87 coins per dough. If I get stuck with this grain, that's a huge loss. Go home, anyone who doesn't sell is a fool. 7 days' time. Who knows how many out-of-town merchants poured into Linjiang? We must act as quickly as possible. These bastards. I always knew they couldn't be trusted. Send my order to Lin family's rice shop even if at a loss. Just sell everything. This contest. I lost. Reporting to the Lord. Linjiang City's grain prices have dropped to 90 coins per dough. Reporting to the Lord. Linjiang City's grain prices have dropped to 86 coins per dough. Reporting to the Lord. Grain prices have dropped to 80 coins per dough. Reporting. Linjiang City's grain prices are now down to 75 coins per dough. As each announcement echoed throughout the county hall, every officer inside the Linjiang County office was completely stunned.
Immediately after,
Their gaze suddenly shifted to the center of the county hall, to the Chun's calm face. 75 coins per dough will greatly ease the pressure on Linjiang's people. Du Jiang was totally in disbelief. Even though the Chun said he guessed the 4 big grain merchants would be divided, but he never expected it would happen so fast. It happened in just a few hours. They started selling off. This tea is nice. When the Lord returns to Chang'an, I'll prepare some of this tea for you. Of course, I'll pay for it myself. Just a gesture of goodwill. Forget the tea. Cash will do. I don't care for trinkets. Let's be direct. The Yushi. Lord Shangguan. Look, you're a bit too anxious. Do I look like that kind of person? Just a joke. Lord Gao, I'm still curious. Why would the 4 big grain merchants panic like this? If not for their selling off, relying only on the out-of-town merchants, prices wouldn't drop so quickly. The 4 big grain merchants united for profit, but are bound to fall apart over profit. Human nature is always like this. Compared to the out-of-town merchants, their costs are lower, and they save on transportation and labor. But that doesn't mean they aren't nervous. The current Empress is very capable, plus 3 consecutive years of bad weather. Looking at 1 year alone, good years and bad years are about 50-50. But if you look at 4 years together, from their perspective, the odds of next year being a good year are higher than a bad year. Once Linjiang's grain prices stabilize, They can't sell off their hoarded grain. Next year's risk will be huge. If next year's harvest is good, there will be enough new grain, not to mention old grain. Prices as low as 30 coins per dough are common. They'd rather take a loss and get out than gamble. Sell first, survive, let others die. If all of them teamed up and held their grain and agreed not to sell, a verbal agreement is just a joke. Everyone wonders, if I don't sell, will they secretly sell? If they sell, I'll be done for. There will always be someone who sells first. Linjiang isn't big. This panic selling is inevitable. Just didn't expect it to be so fierce. They're trying to kill each other. Thank you for the guidance, Lord. Du Jiang is completely convinced. To think the Chun predicted all of this 7 days ago. Everything was already foreseen by the Chun. From the moment the notice was posted, everything followed the Chun's plans. Everything, every part of it. From the moment the Chun entered Linjiang 7 days ago, it was all predetermined. Dingguo Mansion produced a remarkable Qilin child. No one has seen a Qilin. A few flaws are normal. As officials, we govern the whole city's people, not just one person's gain or loss. In this rise and fall, there will surely be bankrupt merchants, but also merchants who stop in time and make a fortune. Officials only need to keep control. Thanks again for your guidance, Lord. Next, follow the plan. Step by step. Soon Linjiang City will stabilize. You mean refurbishing the county office, hosting major events. Linjiang's crisis isn't just about soaring grain prices. The root cause is what? Heavy rains flooding the fields, poor harvests. In years of disaster, people lose sources of income. That's the real reason for high grain prices. So after lowering grain prices, we urgently need to solve people's income issues. Only by providing ways for people to earn money can they survive this disaster. Otherwise, for the people, whether grain is 1 dough or 2.5 million coins per dough, there's not much difference. Ultimately, I can't afford it. You have the talent to assist a king. I'm truly impressed. If His Majesty has you as an advisor, he will surely usher in a great era for Daqian. Master Du, you're overpraising me. Everything I've done was simply going with the flow. Just to protect myself, that's all. Reporting that the 4 major grain merchants have completely broken off. The Qian family was the first to lower grain prices to 70 wen. 1 dough for 70 wen. That's actually 12 wen lower than in Qingshui City. Grain prices in Linjiang City have already dropped. My mission is now complete. I'm heading back to Chang'an. I'll leave the rest to you, Master Du. So you're leaving now, Master Gao? Grain prices in Linjiang City are now settled. There's not much point in me staying here. I have a handwritten letter from the abbot, from the temple I visited these past few days. Take it to the government office to start renovations. You can send someone to deliver it. Master Du's abilities are recognized by everyone in Linjiang City. I'm very confident. As long as I get the credit for this, that's enough for me. Staying longer wouldn't mean much. Master Du needs this political achievement more. I'm completely indebted to you, sir, to hold a large-scale event, using 3 years exemption from business tax as a condition. In accordance with the Daya Qin rules, we need imperial approval. I'll settle this when I return to Chang'an. With Master Du's capabilities, I'm very reassured. I only have one reminder. Master Du, don't increase wages out of pity for the people during the disaster. Increasing wages will only backfire. It's likely to cause more trouble than good. I will remember your advice, sir. Word by word, in my heart. All right, then. Everything in Linjiang City is in your hands, Master Du. You're in such a hurry to leave, Master Gao. I haven't even properly entertained you these days. Why not stay one more night? Your Majesty? There is no official deadline, considering travel time. I'm afraid Chang'an is already in an uproar. I must return personally. It's all because of my own stupidity. I submitted 2 memorials, which put Master Di in the spotlight. Let me see you off, sir. Thank you for your trouble, Master Du. Green Luo, come help me pack up my luggage. News travels slowly. In the coming days, more outside grain merchants will arrive at Linjiang City port. You can shut them out completely. Force them to take losses. But grain prices must not keep falling. Otherwise, the people will keep expecting lower prices. There needs to be some fluctuation. As for regulation methods, I've written everything down. Just follow my instructions, Master Du. Thank you, Master Li. Here's some local tea, just a token of my appreciation. You're very thoughtful, Master Du. The journey is long and the mountains are high. I'll be waiting in Chang'an for your good news. Sir, that's 3 years of your salary. And Master Shangguan is right beside you. If His Majesty finds out, what 3 years' salary? It's just local Linjiang City tea. Besides, I have always been upright, never oppressed the people. And to ask Master The for help, it's purely out of gratitude. So what? I will later submit a memorial to Master The. Already know Master The has just arrived in this good family and is rushing back to Chang'an. If I don't express my goodwill, am I still human? Returning to the mansion, I'll submit 3 reports to the Empress. Deliver this letter to Chang'an as quickly as possible, directly to His Majesty. Yes. Master, the Linjiang City tea is only 100 won per tael. It's not a precious item anyway. Why look so nervous about it? Master Shangguan, you don't understand. Sincerity means more than anything else. This time back in Chang'an, it's only right to enjoy yourself a bit. After all, he brought great merit to Du Zheng and suffered 7 days of bad reputation. Getting some silver is only normal, but the weight still shows Du Zheng is an honest man. He'll remember the gesture. No, that's not right. What's really in your tea box? Let me take a look. Master Shangguan, mountain roads are rough. The carriage bumps around. Men and women shouldn't have close contact. Please be respectful. Getting this close to me, during struggles or bumps, if I accidentally kiss somewhere, or touch somewhere, I'll definitely shout out. You're going to shout? I get it now. You're just stalling for half an hour, to give Magistrate due time to get the silver. There's not tea in here at all. You're bribing in public. Master Shangguan, if you think so, then there's nothing I can do. If you believe it is, so be it. You. Could it be that I have truly misjudged? You have disappointed me somewhat. Forget it. Mere talk on paper can never shoulder great responsibilities after all. Report, Lord Shangguan has sent a letter by express courier. It must be opened by your Majesty personally. Not only that, Lord Du has also dispatched an express courier with a memorial, and specifically requested that this memorial be opened by your Majesty personally, before being transcribed for the censorate. Could it be that Linjiang City's situation can no longer be suppressed? Has a great chaos broken out? My judgment was indeed correct. That bunch of lowly officials in the censorate have disgusted me no end lately. Tomorrow I shall truly vent my frustrations. There's no need to transcribe a copy of this memorial, is there? It plummeted 150 wen in a single day. It's even dropping to 50 wen per do. What a grandson the Duke of Dingguo has. It seems I have underestimated you. After all that tossing and turning, you're finally back. This time I must truly enjoy myself. What do you mean by tossing and turning? Young Master Li is contributing to the great Qian. An official should give their all for the people until their dying breath. This is clearly a supreme honor. Lord Shangguan is right. As long as Lord Shangguan is happy. Censor the Lord Shangguan.
His Majesty has issued a decree.
At the morning court today.
His Majesty summons you.
You beast! Today, as your father, I have utterly lost face. Her Majesty arrives. You may all rise. Today we shall reward merit. Top Scholar Kui, in 7 days, you stabilized grain prices. You truly possess the talent of a king's advisor. I ask your Majesty to be clear with rewards and punishments. Your Majesty used the citizens of a whole city for a contest. Now 100,000 people in Linjiang City live in misery. This is the act of a tyrant, and will surely be condemned harshly by history. Are you finished, Lord Yan? I have said all I wish to say. If Linjiang City is not brought under control, and grain prices are allowed to skyrocket, once a riot sweeps the world, Your Majesty will be the sinner of the realm. Your Majesty, the grain prices in Linjiang City have soared. I have also heard of this. I feel pained for Your Majesty. Although the 4 major grain merchants in Linjiang are incredibly difficult, I have full confidence and experience. Top scholar Kui cares for the people. He is truly a role model for our generation. Everyone says grain prices in Linjiang are skyrocketing. But how have I heard that the price in Linjiang has already dropped to 70 wen per do? What? Linjiang grain prices dropped to 70 wen per do? Grain prices in Linjiang are as low as 70 wen per do? How is that possible? 70 wen per do? The news from 2 days ago. Didn't it say it broke 200 wen per do? This is from Dujiang of the Linjiang Prefectural Office, a memorial sent by Express last night. It clearly states that 2 days ago, grain prices in Linjiang were reported at 70 wen per do in one day, and they are still falling. The Chan, the grandson of the Duke of Dingguo, ordered the posting of notices, requiring the exploitation of merchants' greed, luring out-of-town grain merchants to rush to Renyi, and lowering the price per do through other means. It is all written here, item by item. See for yourselves. A pillar of the state, yet he was frantically impeached by narrow-minded people like you. It truly pains me. Raising grain prices to attract out-of-town merchants. Once the outside merchants entered the city, he opened the granaries to release grain, crashing the market price. Because of costs and waste, those outside merchants would sell off in a panic, thereby driving the local Linjiang merchants to sell as well. To think such methods exist in this world. Releasing grain with competitors, these outside merchants will all be bankrupted. It was destined 7 days ago that this youth would be so formidable. The Feng grabbed the memorial, also looking shocked. Is Yanger truly hiding his brilliance? Grain prices in Linjiang are as low as 70 wen per do. This is even more impressive than Kui Shingai. The words the Chun said before leaving flashed through the Feng's mind. A young eagle should spread its wings and fly high, soaring through the vast sky. But he ordered the renovation of the county office and organized a massive dragon boat race. Acting like this during a year of great disaster, isn't that preying on the people? How is this explained? Not only is Minister Kui curious about this, I am curious as well. Summon the investigating censor of Linjiang City, the Chun, for an audience. Your servant, the Chun, pays respects to Her Majesty the Empress. Grain prices dropped suddenly. Your methods are indeed superb. But County Magistrate Du reported you want to renovate the prefectural office, hold a grand dragon boat race, and even waive merchant taxes. Is this true or false? To inform Your Majesty, this was my idea. I hope Your Majesty will grant permission. Squeezing the people during a disaster year. Censor, do you know this has incited public outrage? How many people have impeached you? During a year of great disaster, the people struggle even to eat and drink. It is inappropriate for Censor Thee to squeeze the people so. Censor Thee is oppressing the people and preying upon them. This is a grave crime. I ask Censor Thee to give the world a convincing reason. I want to ask General Wang and top scholar Kui, and even all the lords in court who impeached me, one question. Before I left Linjiang City, the grain price had already fallen to 70 wen per do. With outside merchants pouring in, local merchants' panic selling could even drop it to 50 wen. But even if the grain price in Guangyang Prefecture is considered low, can all the people truly afford it? And does the imperial court have enough grain for disaster relief? Blindly giving out grain only delays death. The true method is to provide work as a form of relief. Work as relief. What is meant by work as relief? During a disaster year, the common people at the bottom have no silver and cannot afford grain. But they do have labor power. Therefore, I took the liberty of proposing the renovation of the county office. But the target was not just the city's wealthy merchants. Seeing that under a natural disaster, the common people, for a bite to eat, are willing to work for very low wages. With a little silver and a provided meal, the people are very grateful. If the various offices and wealthy merchants take action one after another, as long as Linjiang's grain prices tend toward stability, then a significant portion of the victims can be sustained. This is using public works to replace simple charity. What a brilliant public works instead of charity. But even if it is work as relief, why must you squeeze the people so, Lord the 10 won a day? That is far too harsh. Old General Wang, if you do not understand the people's livelihood, there is no need to speak. Appropriate silence is not shameful. It is better than making yourself a laughingstock. You brat, the Chun. You dare insult me? Are you looking for death? A member of my Duke of Dingguo's household is not for an old fool like you to threaten. I am right here. Who are you to speak? Go ahead and speak your mind. You haven't been in Cheng'an these past few days, so you wouldn't know the criticism in the court. Today you can say it all out loud. Let those who impeach you in my great Qian, my trusted ministers, listen well. I understand, grandfather. Old General Wang, having disaster victims renovate offices, could certainly be 30 yuan a day, or even 50 yuan in wages. But has old General Wang ever considered, with high wages, whether local gentry would follow suit? Gentry renovate their houses during disaster years, hiring victims for labor, precisely because it is cheap. The prefectural office renovation must keep costs low. Only when the local gentry see it, that the disaster victims now are willing to work for a meager wage just to survive. Are they willing to work for very little pay? Will the gentry actually hire them? Sometimes it's only the government office that acts as the bad guy, making the disaster victims complain bitterly, so that when the gentry slightly raise wages, they instantly gain a good reputation. For the local gentry, first, they gain a good name. Second, they save money by paying wages that are half or even 2 times cheaper than in peaceful times. Only this way do they go along willingly. If the official wage was generous, the gentry would neither profit nor gain reputation. Why would they bother to stir up trouble then? The government takes the blame so the gentry reap benefits, both reputation and profit. For the local gentry, there's really no reason to refuse. The Chun. You didn't just go to the temple for worship, did you? Your Majesty, you are wise. Our great Qian dynasty honors Buddhism. The rivalry between Buddhism and Taoism has lasted a long time. I go to temples just to observe their old conditions, then use my identity to get closer to the abbots, acting as a devout believer. Before leaving, I write a letter, telling them the temple is too old. Sooner or later it'll need renovation. Might as well hurry and renovate during this year of disaster. Otherwise the labor cost will be much higher in the future. Then I mention Buddha's compassion, and use relieving the people as a banner. Temples are meant to do good. Renovating now saves money, and they can win people's hearts under the name of Buddha's mercy. They have no reason to refuse. This way both the gentry and the temples profit, and they also gain a reputation. The commoners rely on their own hands to earn an income. All 3 parties get what they need. Plus, with stable grain prices, the common people naturally have a way to live. What's the purpose of holding a large dragon boat festival competition? Our great Qin dynasty values agriculture and suppresses commerce. And merchant taxes are heavy. If you grant 3 years of tax exemption to the champion, with a 3-year tax reduction, the big landlords from both near and far will definitely be tempted. With a major event like this, the people just love lively occasions. When the time comes, not just locals, but even outsiders will flock in. A crowd will naturally boost consumption. Whether it's food, inns, or vendors, business will be booming. That's bound to happen. As long as you extend the competition schedule and set up more vendor booths. Using all three of these methods together, this period of disaster will soon be over. But by doing this, do you realize you might be cursed by the people? A little scolding from the people is nothing compared to saving thousands or tens of thousands of lives. So why not? That's always been the tradition of the Duke Dinguo's household. The Yu is extremely talented. The Yu truly is a role model for us all. You are all well educated. You are my drum-beating ministers of the Great Qin. Yet none of you noticed this penniless man. Instead, you repeatedly submitted impeachments. Imperial Censor Yan Zheng, General Wang Zhang, Minister of Rights. Giving gifts results in 2 months' salary deduction. To serve as a warning to others. The Shan, you lowered the grain price during the famine. Is there any reward you desire? I request to join the Ministry of Revenue. To serve my country. The Chun, grandson of Ducal Minister of the Ministry of Revenue. Meritorious in stabilizing Linjiang City's grain prices. Appointed as Assistant Director of the Ministry of Revenue. Retaining his position as Supervisory Censor. Kui Shinhao, meritorious in stabilizing Qingshui City's grain prices. Promoted to Hanlin Academician. Assistant Director Kui Shinhao of the Ministry of Revenue. This would be a 6th-rank official in the previous era. Not considered a minor official. The Chan thanks your majesty. Why refuse the position of Hanlin Academician? I know you are skilled in commerce, but that's only a minor position. Nothing compared to those close to the Empress. This decision seems a bit muddled. Father, grandfather, you misunderstood. My entry into the Ministry of Revenue is simply because father is the minister, and the head minister is old and gravely ill. As they say, connections make things easier. I can practically walk anywhere in the ministry with impunity. Joining the Ministry of Revenue is the right path. Moreover, Hanlin academicians represent your majesty's image. I can't act recklessly. I've always been rather unruly. Usually I enjoy going to refined places to listen to music. Once is fine, but going often will surely get me impeached by the censorate. Both father and grandfather have been through this. You should understand. The Feng widens his eyes. The Tianlong also widens his eyes. So it's all because of the pleasure quarters in Cheng'an. Yugin gave up on being a Hanlin academician. The family actually produced someone like this. Their blood pressure rises at the same time. Unfilial son. Today you won't escape a beating. What's the point in chasing him now? We'll deal with it back at the manor.